Hi, first grade writers. I'm so excited to be back with you for another writing lesson. Last night, I was rereading our mentor text, Henry and Mudge and the Happy Cat by Cynthia Reliant. And I wanted to share something really exciting with you that I noticed. Come closer. I noticed that in our mentor text, Cynthia Reliant does something really cool. She uses chapter titles to divide up her story into sections. Her first chapter is called What Is It? When Henry Gets the Cat. Her second chapter is called A Good Mother, when the cat takes care of Mudge. And in chapter 3, A Surprise, is when the owner comes back for his cat. Now, what I noticed was Cynthia Reliant uses fun, snappy chapter titles, and at the same time, she breaks her story into a beginning, middle, and end. So writers, I was thinking, if Cynthia Reliant can do that, why can't we? Because I know some of you agree with me that reading books with chapters is really exciting, and it gets us as the reader really excited for what is going to happen next. So, today's learning target for our lesson is I can include chapters for the beginning, middle, and end. Boys and girls, you might remember that the story I last wrote about, book 1 in my series, was about Chloe and Lucky. And they went on their trail ride, and then a gust of wind knocked down that tree branch blocking the trail, which was the problem. And then Lucky spread her horse wings and flew them home to safety. Now, I'm going to continue on with my series in the adventures of Chloe and Lucky. And I'm going to be thinking about how I can break my story into 3 parts. I'm going to have my beginning, where I kind of reintroduce my characters and set up where we're at and the setting for the story. By chapter 2, that's going to be our middle, or where my character is experiencing a problem or getting into trouble. And then by chapter 3, my goal is to be at the end of the story, where the characters solve their problem or fix the trouble. So I was thinking about this new story where I continue on in the series. I know I'm going to have Chloe and Lucky. And I thought it would be fun to be back on the farm. And this time perhaps we start in the barn on a chilly morning. And just like I had in my first book of my series, a gust of wind is going to come along. And I'm thinking as I'm planning through now getting to the middle of my story, this time the gust of wind is going to blow open the gate to the pig pen on the farm where these new little baby piglets are living. And as the gate blows open, the little piglets are going to run out. And now they're going to head down that same trail that Chloe and Lucky were on in my first book. Now, as I'm thinking about Chloe and Lucky in the barn, they notice these pigs escaping. And they have to think quickly now how to solve this problem. Oh my goodness. So then they decide they're going to quickly hop on the tractor and drive down the trail where the pigs are running down, and they're going to have to scoop them up and bring them back to their pig pen where they belong. So as I was thinking through the beginning, middle, and end of my story, that really helped me plan. And now I want to be thinking about how I could create some snappy titles that could help break those into 3 different chapters. So, let me see. I talked about how in chapter 1, we'd be back on the farm and it was going to be a chilly morning. So I might use that to grab my reader's attention and start with one crisp can mean chilly, morning. Now by chapter 2, it was time to have some type of problem or my characters were going to get into trouble. and I shared with you that the gate to the pig pen of those little baby piglets had swung open because of that gust of wind. So now the piglets are running out of the gate. And I'm thinking a really fun, snappy title for that could be The Great Escape. Those little piglets are escaping their pig pen. The Great Escape. Now by chapter 3, as I've planned my story, it's time to think about how the characters solve the problem or get out of trouble. So I remembered that Chloe and Lucky are going to hop on the tractor quickly. They're going to chase down those little piglets on the trail and bring them back to their pig pen. So if they're going to bring them back to their pig pen, and that's their home, I think I might call it Pen Sweet Pen. Kind of a funny little play instead of Home Sweet Home. Pen Sweet Pen. Pen Sweet Pen. Bringing those piglets back to that pig pen. Wow, boys and girls, that was really fun. Planning out my story for the beginning, middle, and end also helped me come up with those snappy chapter titles. And boys and girls, you can do the same thing too. However, remember, coming up with a story that has a beginning, middle, and end, and has different chapters, that can take some time. So remember, you might be spending several days stretching out this story and writing it across many pages. But guess what? Your readers are going to be so excited to read your chapters. Are you ready for the task? Remember, we are including chapters for the beginning, middle, and end in our next series. Happy writing! We can't wait to see what you come up with, boys and girls.